The opening shot of this chapter destroyed me. Never did I think she would start off with not only showing us Tomsy, but showing us Tomsy where I said he would be, on the sphere? Granted, this may not be the sphere, but everything here tells me that it is. And we'll get into that in more detail later on. I also think this chapter showcased even more how important bonds are and how having faith in the people you trust can take you a long way. You had Mimo trying to sow seeds of deceit, and of course, if it wasn't for Gauntus, we may have been in a lot of trouble. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? DomoSenpai here, and we are back with chapter 161 of Gachiakuta. And like I said, bro, this chapter was awesome. If y'all are new to the channel and have yet to subscribe, make sure y'all go down below and hit that big old red subscribe button that y'all see underneath the video. This year, like I said, bro, we are racing to 100,000 subscribers. That is my big goal. I don't want to do any more minor goals. We'll celebrate along the way when we hit little milestones, but my goal is 100,000 subscribers. So if y'all would like to help out in doing that, man, like I said, bro, go down below and hit that big old red subscribe button. By the way, I got some good news. Well, to be fair, I don't know if it's really good news, but I'll be saying that at the end of the video. So anyway, enough of the yak, man. Y'all already know that. I love when Urana Sensei starts off a chapter with a stinger, but this one, bro, this was massive. The moment I saw his design, I knew he was on the sphere. I didn't even have to see the background or any of the statues. I saw the clothing and I knew. I've theorized ever since the initial reveal of Tomsy killing Recto that he was betrayed and that they had to have been working together before. Y'all can go back and watch my previous videos, but that just be proven to me y'all don't really watch the videos. On my J. Jones shit, someone didn't agree with what was going on, and boom, Recto was off. That was my initial assumption. This even furthers that notion. The design on the pants, the golden accessories, everything screamed the sphere. Now, one of the things that I'm unsure of is if that's the book in his hands or a bag or, you know, something like that. But at least from my viewpoint, I definitely think it's like a bag or something. What makes this even more interesting is the fact that when we first got a glimpse of the sphere, at least in the manga, we never saw that design. I always knew that there was levels to this shit, but this design shows extreme class. And if you notice, it looks extremely dated. And not dated in a bad way, but dated as if this was designed long ago by somebody with a peculiar taste. Anyway, I told you guys that when he said he was going on vacation, that he was going to the sphere, right? And that he was either going to grab Chiwa or do something else dastardly. Not to mention, when you think of him killing someone that, you know what? Keep that thought in the back of your mind for now. We'll come back to it later. I'll have to think more on this throughout the week, so make sure y'all stay tuned. We then head back to the Rudo vs. Mimo fight, and of course, the shock factor of what Mimo had told him at the end of the previous chapter gave him the opening to blast his ass off of him. And even Mimo was aware of this. He says, right on the money, it seems that Rudo is still in fact quite immature on the inside. Who killed Recto? In other words, what Rudo wants to know more than anything. No matter how powerful your opponent may be, if the heart is shaken enough to create an opening, it upsets their rhythm. So how many more upsets will it take before you die? This was crucial on Mimo's end. Is it a cheap shot? For sure. But it's not out of the realm for somebody who uses words to their advantage, you know? I remember making the assumption that Gauntus would know about any and everything in regards to what Mimo knew, and that was true to an extent. Because listen to what Maimo had to say. In case you're wondering, Gauntis doesn't know this tidbit. If I'm not sure when a piece of information will come in handy, I prefer to keep it to myself, to ruminate in. So I would give him an order to forget it. On some real shit, this was an omega red flag. This not only low-key solidifies that Gauntis is going to live because there is some info that Maimo has that he doesn't, but this also plays into the kill card that Tomsy threw at us some chapters ago, sitting in front of a passed out Amo. Because on the next page he says, Recto's murderer belongs to the cleaners, for example. To take it that far, not only symbolizes Maimo's desperation, but again, the Tomsy kill card. This information is extremely vital to Rudo. And this also plays into what I told y'all before as well, as far as sowing seeds of doubt amongst Rudo and the cleaners. You know, trying to cause a divide. Bro, I gotta say, I be fucking spitting when it comes to this series, man. Holy hell. Like, listen, I don't like to brag a lot. I tend to keep things a bit on the humble side. But man, sometimes I gotta strut my shit. Anyway, Maimo goes on to say, the disclosure of information can be wielded like a sword. And before he could pierce Rudo's metaphorical body, young Gauntis pulls up and stops him. This panel spoke volumes to me. It serves as a reminder that Rudo is not alone, that there is someone who is there for him outside of the cleaners. He is 100% someone he can lean on when things get tough. Listen to how he quells his worries. So he's been erasing intel from my mind with his orders. If that's true, then he probably has more information than I do. Enough to mess with your head. Look at what it's done to you. It shows how much you care about Recto and how much you care about the cleaners. Maimo attacks you by revealing information, but he keeps himself safe by holding the answer. This was one of the best things he could say in this situation, reminding Rudo like, look bro, this motherfucker's trying to put a wedge between you and the cleaners just so he can not only take you out, but keep himself safe. Essentially, don't let his words take you out of your rhythm. He furthers these notions by saying, so let's neutralize them and drag the answers out of him. There are a number of ways to make him talk. There are even givers on the ground who specialize in extracting information, which I believe we have heard of before. I think it was when it came to the South Branch. I could be wrong, so make sure y'all let me know in the comment section below. And of course, Rudo says, but I don't know if I can hold back right now. I don't know if I can neutralize him without killing him. And again, this is what I love about Gauntis. He reassures him by saying, that's not a problem. An invincible body. Those were his exact words. No need to hold back. Hit him with all your doubts, all your angst, everything. Again, bro, Gauntis is such an important character to Rudo's development as a character that it's crazy. Allowing Rudo to, quote unquote, break out of his shell, but this one is of fear and doubt. It's even illustrated here if y'all didn't notice. Rudo's shackles are slowly but surely being removed. Now, is this a positive thing or is it a detriment due to those wicked ass forces who are also out here at work? You decide. But this shit right here was powerful. Gauntis says, there was a time when I failed to protect the ones I love, but this time I won't fail. Then we get two back-to-back fire-ass spreads. And on the first one, Gauntis says, if you're going to use your words as a sword, then I'll use my words as a shield. Dog, talk about aura farm maxing. Holy moly, bro, look at this. He, to me, is another one of Rudo's protectors, or knights, if you will. You got Engine, you got Rio to some extent, Corvus, and now Gauntis? Are we gonna get a Gachiakuta version of the Knights of the Round Table? I kid. You know I had to get a nice little joke in there with all these knights and all of that, you know. Now let's head on over to the final spread and just, peep the method to my madness. Urana is not somebody who just does things for the sake of doing it. There's always a reason behind it. be it big or small, these things have meaning. Take a look at this spread. As you can see, Rudo and Mimo are arguing back and forth about taking each other out, right? It's by far one of my favorite spreads. But peep the space between the two. Notice how there's just enough room for somebody to squeeze their way in between them. Now, wouldn't it be a shame if somebody decided to, drop in from above and ruin the fun? Like I said, it does look extremely cool, but boy oh boy, would the internet have a huge fit if Tomzy decided to intervene, wouldn't they? Now, I'm all for this fight ending in the most cliche way possible. These two clashing, Rudo coming out on top, and we celebrate the victory with a toast at the good old Winchester. Shaun of the Dead joke, which I'm sure fell extremely flat, but I had to do it, bro. It was just sitting there. But wouldn't it be a lot more fun to see Twitter users fighting each other over, Tomzy ruining the whole moment, burning the place down? Oh man, that would be hella fun. But anyway, this chapter was absolutely brilliant. Again, Urana Sensei answers 5 questions and gives us 600 more. I have way too many questions, bro. This shit literally has me fiending for more. Now, I'm pretty sure that there's some things that I'm forgetting because, there was a lot of shit going on, and as I write, I tend to lose track of shit too because I'm scatterbrained ADHD. But if there was anything that I missed, make sure y'all let me know down in the comment section below, bro. This will help me not only make more videos throughout the week, but it'll also help with the shit that I'm about to announce next. Ladies and gentlemen, a new PC is finally on the way. Granted, it's not the best option, seeing as I'm pretty much renting it through NZXT using their Flex program. Hopefully y'all see this NZXT and y'all help a brother out. But I had to make a choice. This means I can remove damn near everything from this PC and transfer it over to the other one. I'll be using this one strictly just to stream my activities that I do on the other PC. It's going to be costly as hell, but like I said, bro, I had to make a choice. I'm gonna attempt to make the most out of the month that I have it for, just to see if it's truly worth it or not. And if not, I'm setting that motherfucker back. But this does mean that I'll be streaming a lot really soon. Streaming my editing sessions, playing games, etc, etc, I'll be doing a whole lot more once that thing comes in. But until then, we'll see what we can do. Anyway, thank y'all for coming through and watching my videos, man. As we level up in these content creator streets, I will try to provide more updates in the coming future as to what we'll be doing. But until then, man, I'm gonna get out of here and edit this video. Y'all enjoy y'all morning, afternoon, or night, wherever y'all are. I'm DomoSenpai, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.